What's up, guys? Dylan here outside of my Vitruvian. Today I'm going to talk about hitting the back. A lot of people ask when they see this Vitruvian and they see it's on the ground, how do you hit your back exercises? So comment, share, subscribe. And if you're interested in getting a Vitruvian after this video or you have more questions, I do have a link below, an affiliate link for this. But if you have more questions, please put them in the comments and I'll make more videos talking about it so you can make an informed decision when it comes to your home gym needs. So let me first start off and say that I haven't been in the gym in 16 months. I just finished a workout, so I do got a pump on, but I've been taking care of myself, doing holistic things to be healthier. But one of the things that has really enabled that and empowered that is this Vitruvian. And it just makes it so convenient and so easy to lift, like pretty darn heavy, like heavy enough for the majority of you out there. This is gonna be able to do just about every single other exercise. Unless you're like trying to set squat records or even bench press records. This thing goes up to 440 pounds. So really it's just squat and deadlift records, unless you're really trying to push that really heavy, or you're a massive person, so 440 pounds is like your warm up. This will be able to do just about everything else, especially when you get creative with the different movements. It's a fantastic tool that could be your standalone workout tool, or just about. And when I say standalone, like it can do everything, including back. And that's what I want to focus on in this video, because people ask, and that's a comment in the last video, so thank you for that comment if you're watching, is, hey, how do you hit your back? Okay, like how do you do lat pull downs and stuff like that? How do you do rows? Because I think people think about that when they see this and they see it's on the ground, right? You have these cables on either side. They're like, okay, but how do I like do a row? I'm gonna show you how you can do that. And there's different exercises you can build in so you can hit your back in various forms. So you just gotta be a little more creative and change up the movements for your machine, which is okay, because if you can still hit the muscles, you're going to be fine. So the first thing is the row, right? And they have an exercise, it's included in lots of their workouts, but it's the seated row. So right now I have this short bar, and this comes in the pro kit. So see my other video on should you get the pro kit? Just the quick explanation is yes, you should. And I hope in the future, Vitruvian comes out with more attachments and maybe even authorizes some third parties to create their own specialized attachments for this system. I think that'll happen as it goes more mainstream. But for the row, the primary way you can do this is you just hook this in right here, right? You just clip it in, you get seated on the bench, and I recommend getting their bench. It comes with the pro kit. It's got one side that's shorter, but if you have a bench at home, you can do a makeshift setup. You're gonna be fine, right? Just make sure it's stable. But for the row, I don't have this thing loaded up at this point in time because it goes through my phone. But all you're gonna do is you grab this thing and do this. Really simple. But you can still feel it. If you know the right movement, you know what muscle groups to hit, you can still get full range of motion. You can still get the row, and it works pretty well. You can change it up, right? So you're like, okay, that's great, but I want to change it up some. Well, you can change it up by just switching it out. And they have this little tool here, okay? So let me just adjust this mic real quick because it's falling down on me. They have this tool here. It's like a coupling thing. And for this tool, what you can do is you can combine the handles to kind of have a joint handle for these things. So you just stick them in here, real simple. They could probably optimize this, but it works, right? Okay, so now my handles are together like this. Really easy. Just stick it in, pop that in there, okay? I can sit in the same position like this, and I can do a narrow grip, right? I can adjust my grips like this. You can have different angles you want. You can even do a reverse grip if that's the thing. I'm no expert. But you can put them together so you can have a slightly closer grip. But you can have different angles for that row, okay? There's your row, okay? Another way you can do this is, let's see if I can get it right now, but you can lay down like this, right? Make sure you might need to move the bench back some, but you can do prones, right? So you can do stuff like pulling that to your face, right? I can always slide this bench back a little further. So I got a little more motion, but this can simulate a pull down, okay? Somewhat. It's not perfect, but you can still get it. And then if we move this back, right, let's change out this piece right here. We're going to take this off. And you see it's really quick to adjust these pieces and switch the attachments, right, which is the beauty of this quick attach system. It works really well for the most part. But you can do a bent over row, right, just like this. Pretty simple. And in case you're wondering, like it is offset, right? The cables aren't directly in the middle, which at first I was like, oh man, that's going to make it hard to switch sides, right? It's gonna make it hard to do that. We have to switch the bench around, right? So I'm even. No, you don't have to do that. You can just go to the other side of the bench, right? Same thing. You're gonna get the same tension for that. Now, if you're doing a lot of stuff on one side, which can happen if you're in a small space, like maybe like this side is up against the wall, so you don't have excess room on this side, but on this side, see how that bench is off there? I recommend just switching it up so you're not putting excessive lopsided wear and tear on one side of the machine over time, because that will naturally cause it to wear, even though the machine and these cables are rated to work a lot longer. So those are a few simple exercises for the back that you can do on the Vitruvian. It can hit just about everything. I tired my back out. They got other ones like you can do pull downs. There's a bunch of other stuff you can do with this. They have a glossary of workouts that you can select. They have little mini micro videos in the app that will show you how to do those, which is cool. It makes it easy, especially if you're newer trying to figure it out. It'll show you the different parts of your body that you can target. But ultimately, like this thing does just about everything. But if you still aren't satisfied, the number one way to hit your back, right, without using a machine, is just get a pull-up bar. So, if you're outside, install a pull-up bar like out under your deck, or buy one, get one of those doorway ones. Those aren't my favorite, but get a pull-up bar and just practice doing pull-ups. That alone, if you do 100 pull-ups a day, I guarantee if you haven't done that, it's gonna be tough to hit that 100. You're gonna have to work your way up to it so you don't get hurt. But if you do 100 pull-ups a day, like your back's gonna get built out. And especially if you start switching your grip, you do close grip, you do wide grip, if you get an attachment so you can do narrow grip, something like that, that's gonna be really beneficial. And then the next step up is you could add bands to it. So bands, or you can add weights. So buy a belt, buy like a 45-pound weight, right? And then you can strap the belt on and use weights for the pull-up bar. And that's gonna work your back just fine, right? So bands and weights are natural progressions for a pull-up bar. And you're gonna not only get an amazing back, but you're gonna get a functional movement. So if there's ever some sort of apocalypse and you find yourself hanging off a cliff, you'll be able to pull yourself up, right? I think that's a good skill to have in 2023, given everything that's going on in the world. So that is it for the Vitruvian. That is it for how you hit back. I've had no problems doing it, right? Sure, it'd be nice to have a lat pull down thing. And I think Vitruvian might be working on it or some form. Now I will say, I will conclude this video with a warning, because I had someone ask, like, can you like put the Vitruvian up against the wall and put your legs against it and do the pulls? You could. I don't recommend it because it's not meant to be on its side. Like, it's the side components when you see this, right? They're not meant to be weight bearing. So you could end up cracking one of these side pieces or knocking it off just because you're doing something with the machine you're not supposed to do. Could void the warranty. You could injure yourself. I don't really recommend that. And someone also asked, could you put it up above? Could you mount it up above you and pull it down from that? You could. I don't recommend that either, because this thing weighs like 80 pounds. So if you mess up, you don't want 80 pounds coming crashing down on you. That's a serious injury risk there for this. So there are other cable-based systems that are out there, and maybe Vitruvian will make one that are lighter weight. I think there's like that X Pro one. I haven't used it, but that one looks like it's a lot lighter weight. So you could, in theory, mount that thing up on the ceiling, make sure it's stable, and use that for your lat pull downs. Now, that's an added expense, but if you really want to do those lat pull downs, maybe a lighter weight cable-based system would be beneficial, because again, you probably don't need to be able to do a 440-pound lat pull down in general. Right? For most people, you probably will be fine with a little bit less weight than that. You still want a substantial amount, but you probably get by with less weight. So maybe look into one of those other options for if you really need that specific lat pull down. Or you know what? Maybe you just go to the gym one day a week, right? Drop in, go to the gym one day a week for your lat pull down session or whatever. But I think the Vitruvian is sufficient, but it's up to you to decide. Hopefully this video was helpful, and definitely let me know what you think about this in the comments below. What other questions you have? And of course, if you would like to get one of these, use my link below. It helps support the channel, helps support these videos. And I love just spreading the word about this, because this has been transformational for my fitness and weightlifting journey over the past 6 months. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the next 6 to 12 months have in store for me and my Vitruvian here. So that's it for now, and I'll catch you in the next video.